Hello, my name is Kirioth, and oh my god, it happened. It finally happened. I don't know if happy is the word. I think it's probably stronger than happiness. They announced Plastic Sisters. I'm especially happy about this, actually, because I made a joke yesterday on Twitter. Before I went to bed, I was like, I hope you're all ready for Games Workshop to announce Plastic Sisters at AdeptiCon. And I said this knowing full well that I was being a sarcastic prick, and that actually it was not going to happen. And someone said, oh my god, really? And I was like, oh man, I feel bad. I feel bad. I've got someone's hopes up. I thought it was an obvious joke, but someone's got excited. Now I feel bad. I need to do something about this. So I replied to myself, and I was like, this is a joke. Clearly never going to happen. I am so glad to be wrong, you would not believe it, because I've waited for this for God knows how long, and the reaction from the community as a whole kind of suggests that maybe this should have been done a little earlier. But then again, I suppose anticipation is half the enjoyment, if you subscribe to that view anyway. And they're doing it. Admittedly, not until 2019. Plastic Sisters are coming. They are on their way, and they're doing something kind of funky, which I quite like. So let's have a quick look at this. So Warhammer community site. That video will have been playing in the background. You'll have seen it already. And so the interesting thing for this is that they've said for a long time, like for many of you, this is more than just a new army. So we're going to do something we've never done before. Right up until the release, we'll be bringing you updates on the Sisters of Battle, sharing images and snippets of info, and a whole ton of behind-the-scenes goodness. Emperor willing, covering themselves there for if it gets delayed, which it might do, but you never know. The Battle Sisters, the Adeptus Warriors, will be ready to take the fight to the Renegade, the Heretic, and the Unbeliever in 2019. The fact that we're getting them at all is obviously excellent. That's quality. It's ridiculous. Thank fuck for that, finally. The fact that they're taking this attitude with it, where they have they've seen the number of people asking for it, they've seen the number of requests, the number of demands, they've seen the number of people just outright getting really, really pissed off about the lack of Plastic Sisters. The fact that they've responded in this way, that they're like, okay, this means this much to you, we will actually show you what we're doing. We will show you what happens as it's happening. We will, build the faction, and you'll be able to see it as we do it. We'll give you information, we'll give you behind the scenes stuff, images of things in development. That is really, really good. Like, I cannot begin to tell you how pleasantly surprised I am, because we've talked repeatedly about how this Games Workshop that we have right now, since about 2015 in fact, is so much better, way better than old Games Workshop in every conceivable way. This is like another level of it. They're not getting worse again, they are actively getting better. They've taken something that the community has shown themselves to be incredibly passionate about, and they have. I mean, the reactions to this news has been absolutely ridiculous. It's all over the place, people are absolutely loving it. I even saw a really nice comment on Reddit earlier, which was, started out not nice. The guy was like, I can't stand Sisters of Battle. I don't like them. They're not for me. I'm not interested at all. And I was like, started reading it, and I was like, how is this positively... how is this upvoted in a thread that's all about how great this is? What's going on? And then the second half of the comment was, but I see how excited you guys are and how thrilled you are that this has been announced and how much you're looking forward to it. And I think to myself, stop being a grumpy bastard and let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. Enjoy your new faction when they come out. Even people who don't like this shit, even people who aren't interested in Sisters of Battle, are apparently sitting there going, you know what? Good for you. I'm glad you got the thing you like. This is really good. This is ridiculously good because, again, it shows a change in attitude for Games Workshop that is already apparent. Like, we already knew that they're way better than they were, but this is something else as well. They could have held on to the announcement. They could have not said it yet. They could have waited a bit and then been like, hey, there you go, in 6 months you'll have Sisters of Battle, or in 2 months, or whatever. They could have held on to the information because, really, it doesn't harm them to not announce this. It doesn't harm them to not tell people that Plastic Sisters are in fact coming. They could just hold on to that information. The memes would carry on. People would carry on going, where are Plastic Sisters? And Games Workshop would be able to sit there kind of knowingly going, yeah, they're on the way. But not telling anyone about it. Just feeling a little bit of smugness that when they did finally release it, people would lose their shit. Instead, they're not doing that. They're telling us early. They are showing us what's going to be happening. They're going to be sharing what they do with the faction as they go through. Again, that is like another step. It's like another step on top of another step of Games Workshop seeming to be almost going out of their way to make it known that they want to be involved with the community. They want interaction with the community. I mean, we've had the community survey. They said there was like 120,000 people responded to that, which is really, really good. To be honest, that's more than I thought there would be. I didn't think they'd have that many responses, but the fact that they did is really good. They're taking it to heart. Like, everything that people are asking for, all the things that people are complaining about, politely or impolitely, they are taking action on. They are doing stuff about it. I mean, some of the other stuff that's been announced, right? I've seen people talking about the Deathwatch stuff, for instance, like the lack of Primaris and Deathwatch. Well, the next 3 Codexes to be announced are Imperial Knights, Harlequins, and Deathwatch. And Deathwatch will allow you to take mixed Primaris squads. People keep asking for that shit, and they're giving it to them. People were asking about Primaris of Deathwatch, and now they're giving it to them. Now, they may well have had that already in the pipeline. That may have already been planned. But still, it shows at least an indication that they can, maybe at the very least, predict what people are going to want and are trying to do something to address that. You know what I mean? There's also the Imperial Knight Codex. There's a new Imperial Knight. So we've got the Baby Knight, which, you know, I quite like the look of the Baby Knight, and I quite like the fact that they're expanding the range a little bit to give it more of a complete feel, more of a rounded flavour. There's now going to be a Knight Castellan, so there's going to be a larger Knight as well as a Baby Knight, so you'll have small, medium, large. Again, that's something that I've really wanted. I haven't sat there and been like, where the hell is my giant Knight? But it's something that I've seen repeated here and there. Obviously, the Knights are ridiculously well. It's not just kind of a thing of people ask for it, so they do it. But it shows an indication that they are properly keeping track of what people are enjoying in the hobby and trying to make more of it. They are actually attempting to make it so that people get what they want. And that is a departure from old Games Workshop. That's a new Games Workshop thing, and they're actually doing a really fucking good job of it. Like, there's nothing in this AdeptiCon stuff where I'm looking at it and going, oh man, you could have done better with that. There's finally going to be a list builder for 40k, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's taken ages to come, but they've even said that it's taken too long to come. So, okay, so this is the combat roster. I'm aware this video is all over the place. I'm just happy and excited, sue me. So this is introducing combat roster, and as they say, as any Warhammer Age of Sigmar player will tell you, War Scroll Builder is an invaluable tool for writing army lists, and to be honest, it's long past time we had something similar for Warhammer 40,000. An admission of not doing something in a timely manner. Just straight off, on the website. Now, you could say, well, okay, well, it's the community people writing that. Yeah, but the community people also have to report to other people. The fact that they can be that honest and go, yeah, this has been way overdue, that's progress. It's such good progress. So, yeah, they've teamed up with Tom Hewitt for Roll Call, and they're making combat roster. So it'll be a free online tool, and it will remain so, and we'll sit alongside it on the community site, like next to War Scroll Builder, and there will also be a Warhammer 40,000 app that will feature match play list building. Fucking finally, how long have people been asking for that? Again, how long have people been sitting there going, why is there not a list builder? Why have Games Workshop never made a list builder? Well, now they're making a list builder. How many people have been asking for Plastic Sisters for how long? Well, now there are Plastic Sisters. How many people have been sitting there going, oh, why is there no Primaris for Deathwatch? It doesn't make any sense. Now there is Primaris for Deathwatch. It's just like, it's like someone took all the things that I wanted as someone who enjoys this hobby and enjoys the universe that it's set in, and went, you know what? All those things you want, fuck it, have them. Just have them. We'll do it. All of it. Just take it. Take the lot. We just feel like giving you everything you specifically wanted. There you go. Deal with it. I am genuinely beyond thrilled for this. it's really easy to be negative about this stuff. It's really easy to be negative about Games Workshop, to be negative about Warhammer 40,000 as a whole. It's a hobby that, like a lot of hobbies, the passion can sometimes overcome the actual appreciation, I think. There is no part of what they've announced where I'm sitting here going, I'm not sure about that. There's just no part of that. It just doesn't exist. It's all good. How rare is that to be able to say about any company when they make a bunch of announcements that it's all good? I mean, there's even stuff in here. I'm not a big Age of Sigmar person. I keep meaning to get into it, and then I just don't have the time. I don't even know where to start, in fact, if I'm honest. But the Idoneth Deepkin stuff. Now, I know nothing about AOS. I know nothing about fantasy. This stuff is fucking mental. What is this? Look at it. Like deep sea elves. It's mad. Look, what are they riding in the background? There's a giant turtle with a chariot on top, just floating in the air. Or, I assume floating in the air. Could well be underwater. Who knows? This stuff is crazy, but it looks so good. And it's so... I don't even know how to put it. It seems so far removed from safe bets. Like, that is not a safe bet. As a look, as a model range, as a line, I do not consider a giant turtle with like 6 flippers and massive teeth with a chariot on top as being a safe bet. And yet that is what they've done for that faction. It is outlandish as hell. It is ridiculous. I mean, steampunk dwarves, who fucking cares? This, what is that? Other than awesome. I don't even know, but the fact that they're prepared to do this stuff, it's just such a different company. It's such a different company. I'm aware that, like, over the last... Like, there's been a few comments fairly recently how I seem to be getting a bit more negative, and that's not the intention. I'm never intending to be negative. I cannot be negative about any of this. Plastic Sisters, yes. A bigger knight, yes. Mixed Primaris shit, for Deathwatch especially, since that is Deathwatch's MO, yes. The Harlequins are getting the full treatment as well. They're getting, like, different... whatever they are, like the equivalent of Space Marine legions and all of that shit. There's no part of this that I don't like. Like, there is no part of this that I don't like. I mean, even down to stuff like this. So, again, this is fantasy / Age of Sigmar stuff, but just look at this. So, Warhammer Legends will be the new home of rules for classic and fan favourite miniatures. While not intended for match play, they'll still be great for anyone looking to forge epic narratives or who wants to see how the heroes of yesteryear fare against the newer champions from Age of Sigmar. As part of Warhammer Legends, we'll be running made-to-order waves designed to let you finish classic Legends or pick up some seminal kits from days gone by. The first of these will be focusing on the Dark Elves. They're not just doing made-to-order stuff anymore, they're actually doing made-to-order stuff, and then they are providing rules for them, so that if you want to use them in your narrative games of Age of Sigmar. Again, it's like, how do you complain about that? They could just release the models and be like, there you go, you wanted it, take it. But instead, no, they're actually doing rule sets for them. This is the most excited about Games Workshop I've been for quite a while, and the thing is, I think... Oh, and I forgot to mention, sorry. We've been all over the place this video, but I don't care. I don't care. Split shipping is back. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. They actually have split shipping again. Again, it's something that people keep... Like, when they stopped doing it, it was frustrating. People kept asking for it. So they put it back. They re-implemented it. I was excited about kind of the new Games Workshop when it came to Dark Imperium, when it came to the Primaris stuff. I know a lot of people didn't like them, and to be honest, in some ways, I've gone off Primaris a bit. I still like the concept, I still like the Mark X, the Mark 10 armour, but things like the Aggressors and the Reavers, I've kind of gone off a bit since. I was excited about that. I was excited about the way they handled indexes and implementing 8th. I've been excited about the different models they've made. They've made some really killer models recently and have done for a while. This, again, like little things over the last couple of years, things like the Warhammer Community Survey and all of that stuff, the actual interaction with the community, that's got me excited. This has boosted that even further above. It is literally like they looked at all the things that most people wanted and just said, yes, have it. There are some things, yeah. I'm a little disappointed at the lack of any mention of orcs. But then again, we are still in 2018. We are not halfway through the year yet. We don't have all of the indexes out for all the other races yet. Orcs might well be last, but I don't think they're going to be getting into next year without a codex. I would be amazed if that happened. That would go against the schedule that Games Workshop seem to have set themselves. Whether they'll get anything new, I don't know, but there have been rumours of things like the Orc versus Chaos box towards the end of the year. That could well be the point where Orcs get a massive revamp as well. It's hard to tell at the moment. And I will admit that there was one line that made me a little bit kind of mildly salty. Just for a moment, I had a moment of salt. Just the smallest, tiniest, mildest moment of salt. This line here. We know many of you have been waiting patiently and impatiently. That is the only part of this entire article. That is the only part of all of these announcements, literally all of them, where I've sat there and gone, you what? And literally the only reason is because I don't count it as impatiently waiting when it's a model line as old as Sisters of Battle. They've had fuck all for years and years and years and years, and then they got Celestine, and that was it. That's not waiting impatiently. That is justified, in my opinion. But that is 2 words. Out of all of the announcements, out of this entire article, out of all the videos, the quality videos that have been playing in the background on a loop as we've been talking, 2 words that made me go, who cares? Who fucking cares? Plastic Sisters, a new Knight, Deathwatch, Harlequins, an Imperial Knight Codex, a full actual model line of Imperial Knights, Baby Knights, Medium Knights, Big Knights. The Deepkin stuff looks ridiculous. I don't understand any of it, but it looks fucking great. An actual list builder that Games Workshop is making themselves, that they've actually got someone who already made a list builder and went, hey, you're good at this, fucking make one for us. Yes, 100% yes. If they keep this up, I will be the happiest person on the fucking planet. This is ridiculous. I don't care if this has been too much positivity. I'm sure there are going to be people who are like, well, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. That's fine. You are 100% allowed to not like something they've announced. Me, personally, this shit is quality. This is ridiculously good. I'm loving every second of what they've announced. There is no downside to any of this for me. And I just hope it carries on like this, because it just shows such a vast amount of progress. I cannot begin to express the difference between the Games Workshop I used to know and the Games Workshop that made these announcements. I cannot even... It's like only the name is the same. Literally everything else is completely different, and it's fucking awesome. Anyway, I'm going to stop gushing. I'm aware that is the most gushy fanboy video I've ever made, and I don't give a shit. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments below. Are you excited for all this stuff? Do you think they're going about it the right way? Do you think they announced Sisters too early? Or do you think actually it's a really cool idea announcing them this early and then showing people what happens behind the scenes when they make an army like that? Deepkin stuff, like it, dislike it, what the fuck is happening with that? It's great, but what the hell is going on? Finally, a list builder. Will you use it? I'm assuming you will, because why would you not? Yeah. Quality shit. Okay, thank you very much for watching. There's the usual array of stuff to click on the screen. There's a couple of videos, there's a Patreon, there's a subscribe. Click them if you like, don't click them if you don't want to, and I will see you for the next one. Toodaloo.